Brian Jester, FF. We're here with Occupy Fantasy at Occupy Fantasy on Twitter, Twitch, all different types of social media. Here to talk about the wild card weekend. What's going on, Brian?
What's up, dude? Just coming recently off this piece of shit Periscope technical difficulty. So switching right over into Twitch. So if you guys are joining us, welcome. Hopefully this goes a lot better than the Periscope did. And if you have questions, ask us and we'll answer them for you.
Yes, so my computer sucks, so I won't have the Twitch chat open. That's Brian's job. So hopefully we'll be able to see that and answer all your questions. If we don't get to you the first time, just ask it again. We'll get to it.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the chat. So like I said, we'll be here for a while. So maybe up till noon, depending.
Yeah.
And but yeah, if you have questions, I'll see them and I'll ask them out loud most if it's relevant to both of us.
Perfect. Now I'm just retweeting this on my phone here. What's the plan of attack going to be for today? I know we got FanDuel open. Are we going to start out with FanDuel?
We can certainly start out with FanDuel, but they're slacking. They're slacking. Even as I've live chatted them, their contest selection's so terrible. If you do any type of FanDuel search on Twitter, it's just tons of people complaining because they've made the main slate, the 2-game slate today, and they've made another main slate, quote unquote, for tomorrow's 2-game slate, and ignored the 4-game slate and made that really small. They don't have any satellites. So I think most of your action say should be on DraftKings. However, we do have Monkey Town in the chat. So what's up, Monkey Town? And he's asking us to make a super flex. So maybe we should take a crack at that.
Okay, I'm totally cool with that. We can definitely make a super flex. I don't think I've ever made a super flex outside of a fantasy football league. Do you think? And I was just reading off the daily plug a little bit earlier. With this slate here, do you think we go? I think we go high risk, right? Especially with the indie game being so high.
Yeah, probably. Are we doing the four game or 2-game?
This is it's a 4-game. Okay, they should have specified that. Okay, so we're going 4-game slate here.
I think we can go low risk. Let's see
Yeah.
what's available in low risk because I think we can make a 50-50 lineup and probably crush it. So
I remember Monkey Town first told me about Superflex, and he said people put tight ends, running backs, whatever, not quarterbacks as their Superflex, which is just insane.
yeah, absolutely stupid idea. Yeah, don't do that. So yeah, let's try a super flex and see what we can come up with.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just taking a look. One of the things we preach here at Occupy Fantasy is contest selection. Before we enter any contest, we're looking at the entrance, making sure we're not going up against any pros. So I'm just going to take a look at this $2 single entry. Before I even touch a lineup, before I even think about who I'm going to play, I'm looking at the entrance.
Definitely. And Moose, we got a question in the chat just now. Best wide receiver in cash games on FanDuel. I assume they're talking about for the full slate, other than T.Y. Hilton and DeAndre Hopkins. I think you and I would both agree probably Kiki Kuti, assuming he's fully healthy, and it sounds like he is. He's too cheap for Houston. Should see a ton of targets. He's probably my favorite. And I think ownership reflects it. He's up to 30% projected ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's getting targets on targets weekly, and I don't see that injury affecting him that much.
Yeah, when he plays, he gets targets, and so they've held him out as he's not been healthy recently. But when he's healthy, he's a full go, and that sounds like it today. So yeah, I think Kiki Kuti answering the question in the chat. So
Yeah, definitely a good play. So let's see here. So I'm looking at the entrance here. The running joke is we're looking for star people. I don't see any of them, or too many of them. Again, this is a 50-50, so we only have to beat half the crew. So we're going to go ahead and enter this lineup. I think it looks pretty good. I know this probably goes without saying, Brian, but Superflex, you have to have 2 quarterbacks, right? I would say.
Yep. Gotta absolutely have 2 quarterbacks unless I don't even know what the unless would be. Yeah, just play 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, unless if it's maybe like college football and you're playing the Army Navy game. Like the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one exception.
So we're talking earlier for quarterbacks and reading the Daily Plug. And Andrew Luck seems to have one of the highest floors for consistency. Do you like him as putting a quarterback in here?
Yeah, I think, and we talked about in the Periscope before I cut out, I think the 3 low risk quarterbacks that make sense. I can't believe Russell Wilson's priced above him right now in the super flex contest.
And if you look at his picture, he's just like upset at FanDuel. He's like, why you guys are that bad?
Wait, pull up his picture up.
See if I can pull it up.
So, dude, why would you guys?
Let's see this one. Does that work for you?
Yeah. Why would you guys price me as the number 1 quarterback on FanDuel? So yeah, ignoring that, Luck, Watson, and Lamar Jackson are just the 3 highest floor guys that make the most sense to play.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think here. I actually like Lamar Jackson because you are saving that $600, and he we pretty much have the same type of rushing upside. I think I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson for the super flex here.
Yeah, we can always upgrade later if need be.
Yeah.
And then seeing as this is a low risk contest, as we said in the daily plug, we've talked about it. You just have to put in Zeke and figure out the rest.
Yeah, because he's going to be what 80-90% owned, and he's going to have 15 more projected weight opportunities than the next highest running back according to our model.
According to our model, he's projected 38 weighted opportunities. So for those in the chat who don't know, weighted opportunities puts more emphasis on targets than it does rushing attempts. Just massive workload expected for Zeke. So you have to use him in low risk.
Yeah, I was actually reading an article. He said he wants to show off his workload today for contract reasons.
Oh, yeah, because he was trying to get that contract extension. He also said earlier in the week, and we Waleed and I talked about this on the podcast, that he's expecting his largest workload of the year. So, yeah, if you want to fade that, go for it, but I would not be doing that.
And like we talked about in our group chat or I believe it was on the podcast, one of the two, where you're not just fading him, and you don't need 1 running back to beat him. You need 2, potentially 3 running backs to beat him.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that's going to happen. Yeah,
that's almost impossible. Yeah. So, I know we talked about it in the daily plug. Naeem Hines, do you like him as a play here?
Yeah. What's his price on FanDuel here in the Superflex? Because he's cheap, but his workload isn't guaranteed by any means.
Yeah, so he's 5,000 here, but reading more into it, it seems like he's more of a high risk play.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So who would you put as your first runner outside of Zeke? Your next running back. I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, it's really tough because, like I said, there's a couple guys. Marlon Mack, Lamar Miller, Melvin Gordon, even, but he's so expensive that you're not going to use him probably.
Yeah, it's almost hard, especially doing the 2 quarterback thing. You can't have the 2 studs running backs as well.
Right. I would say either Mack or Carson. I like Mack because you pretty much lock up all of Indy's points that way.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Luck and Mack, so
yeah, so we'll go with that. Now, we talk about this a lot, where depending on the score of the game, depends on how you want to do the flex. Also with the contest selection, you think we still go running back flex here, or do you switch up to wide receiver?
No, same concept. It's still FanDuel, so it's still half point PPR.
Yeah.
So I think you. No, I definitely think.
So then, back with what you said earlier, do you think we go with Chris Carson as the flex?
Yep, for sure. I like Carson a lot. And that game should be tons of running involved, and he's been getting tons of work. So he's the safest workload, I think, of the group.
Yeah. Now let's go to wide receiver here. And I know you said in the Periscope, but I feel kind of the same way. You almost kind of have to fade T.Y. Hilton. He's struggling right now. That injury is really messing with him.
I know, and a lot of people will talk about his splits. He crushes Houston, and that's true. He has crushed Houston, but that's also when he's been 100%,
yeah,
or at least near 100%. Yeah, paying this kind of price, you want someone who's 100%, and I'm not sure he is right now. Granted, we are taking a risk fading him in low risk because of his high ownership, but I think it's really tough to play him here.
Now back with another injury, but your boy Kiki, his injury doesn't seem so bad, and he's only 5,600, way below our average per player. Is that someone you think we can lock in?
Yeah, I think we lock in Kiki. Yeah, because all the reports this morning say that he's going to play, and like we said, a few minutes ago, if he's playing, he's healthy. So
Okay, perfect. Let's see here. Give me 1 second here.
Moose, Waleed's talking in our
Yeah, I was
Occupy
about to
group
say.
chat about FanDuel not having any satellites for NHL. They're really slipping lately. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with them, man. Like it's like you're literally an ATM machine, and all you have to do is just give people what they want, and they never do.
I just don't get it. I really just make sure the ATM machine doesn't break, and they try their hardest to break it every week.
It's like input your pin while they have people overlooking your shoulder, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna play here. I'll go to DraftKings.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, just do a quick Twitter search if you're in the chat or if you're watching. Like, people are furious about FanDuel this week, and
Or even live
Yahoo,
chat them, and like if you live chat them, you can like see right then and there they don't care what you say.
they don't give a shit. They really don't. And they're bringing it. They're doing the rake-free tournaments. Yahoo's going to get some market share, I think. Most again, I know you and I are both playing over there this weekend.
Yeah, so I have Yahoo up on a different tab. I'm gonna show them some of the contests there, show them some of the pricing. If that's okay, if we have some time. Just show how different that site is with the exact same scoring system, basically as FanDuel.
Yeah, we'll definitely show that later because I think it's worth exploring,
Hmm.
especially with that rake-free contest.
Yes. So we got 15,000 remaining, $7,500 average per player. Uh, you think we go with DeAndre Hopkins as a high owned guy here?
Yeah, because we didn't use Deshaun Watson, right? We used Lamar and Andrew Luck.
Hmm.
If we get DeAndre and Kiki Kuti, we get some of that exposure to Watson anyway. So I think it's a good move.
Definitely. So now for tight end, we got 6,300 left. Basically, everyone except Zach Ertz. Um, you like your boy?
Perfect.
You like your boy Ebron? Um,
Yep.
Definitely
Yep.
high target share in the red zone. Crushes.
Yep. This makes sense to me. Ebron, we love him, especially on FanDuel where he scores so many touchdowns.
Yeah.
14 touchdowns this year. It's more touchdowns than he's had in his college and NFL seasons combined the previous 7 years, which is just insane. So, yeah, I mean, perfect matchup, high ownership, exactly perfect fit, and we don't even have to really change much with our lineup.
Yeah. I mean, we're within that $1,000 that we like to keep. Um, I think this is good to submit.
Yeah, and that $500, that's not enough extra to move up to Deshaun, right?
Let's see here.
I think it was 600. We need it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm so cool with this as a super flex low risk lineup.
Yeah. And I seriously can't wait. I want to see when the first game goes off what the content, what the ownership is like for non-quarterback super flex.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what that comes out to be.
So, so we went ahead and put that lineup in. While we're doing that, I just want to switch over to Yahoo Sports here. Let's go ahead, switch this up, and refresh. Literally, the very first contest that's on their lobby is this 500K baller, no management fee. So they're not taking any cut from this. 100% of the entry fees go straight to the players, guaranteed to run. So even if it doesn't fill, then they're losing money. Um, hey,
Right.
did you put any entrance into this?
Yeah, I haven't played on Yahoo all year. I know our NBA guys, Garrett and Tommy, they play over there pretty frequently, and
Hmm.
they always talk about the pricing. And once the rake free happened, I went ahead and deposited. And so, I'm fortunate enough to have a large enough bankroll to where I can max enter that $20 rake free tournament. Like it's so perfect. I can get the
Hmm.
max entries. Oh, it's only 10 max, and there's no rake. So yeah, I went ahead and deposited $200 over there. Got the deposit bonus. Talk about deposit bonuses in the ultimate guide the
Wow.
19 chapter DFS
Yeah.
ebook. So get the deposit bonus, free money. And I know you're playing the beginner contest over there too.
Yeah. It's. I was just telling you today in the group chat that I've been using our NBA model, playing some NBA rookie contests. They have like these 10 player leagues, and it's stupid. You feel like James Harden, Giannis Antetokounmpo in a lineup, and they're like 15% owned. You just crush.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's no shame in going to other sites. There's no shame in playing beginner contests. Like max out those beginner contests and just print the money, and so you can and help you grow your bankroll.
Yeah, I mean, like we've said before, it doesn't matter how you get that dollar. It's the same dollar if you get it on a Yahoo Rookie or if you get it min cash on a GPP on DraftKings. Like it's the same thing.
Right, it really is. So
Yeah, yeah. Like I was telling you with NBA, I'd say real quick, you can literally make a lineup of starters for that are minimum priced on Yahoo. You have like 90% of your bankroll left over, and then you can just take some out, put in stud, and you're good.
right, no, seriously, it really is. Also, Monkey Town's in the chat, and he said that he plays 10 head-to-heads weekly for SuperFlex on FanDuel, and that around 5 per week don't use a quarterback as SuperFlex.
I'm like, what? Why? Oh,
yeah, makes no sense.
That's insane. So we went ahead and so we shit on FanDuel. We did some talk how awesome Yahoo is. We did a super flex. Do we want to go switch over to DraftKings for a little bit? Take a look at some of their contests over there.
Yeah, I think let's definitely go single game. We're gonna build single game lineups. I think that's the way to go.
Cool. I was just checking I had my golf lineup set up before, just doing some random golfers and doing pretty good actually.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm minimum cashing right now, but I have a lot of players within that top 10 range that have a chance to really boost the scoring. So weird. It's like exponential within the top 10. So it's like 5 points for 10, but it's like 100 points for if you win. Some crazy thing like that. I don't know.
Yeah, a couple shots either way can really swing your score.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead here, take a look at NFL, and like you said before, I think single game is the way to go here.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about single game and let's talk about high risk. Yeah, because they actually have a decent satellite selection.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you've been targeting the big game. For those who don't know, is for the GPP for the Super Bowl. That's going to be super fun. It's not going to have IDPs this year, which I think is awesome too.
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying last year, but they had defensive players, and it ended up being really weird. No one really liked it. So yeah, it's the same single game contest we've been playing all year. And Moose, is it that copyright issue that how Vegas, when we go out there, it's like, oh, the big game party, that they can't use the word Super Bowl? Is that the case here where they can't use the word Super Bowl for their contest?
I think so. Yeah, I think Super Bowl is actually like a copyrighted name. That's why I don't think they can use it in promotions like that.
Huh. Interesting.
Stupid. Because I guarantee if they called it Super Bowl, they would get 50 times more entrants. People would be like, big game. What is that? Is that next Saturday or what?
Right.
So, all right. So, what do you want to start off with the Indy Houston game again? Seattle, Dallas.
Yeah, let's start from the Indy Houston, since that's the first game on slate today.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if they have anything for the big game. So I know you did the max entrance on this one for 300 tickets for the dollar entry fee. That's a solid tournament right there.
It is, because what you can do is maybe you enter 20 different lineups, and maybe not a lot of people do that. Of course, it takes a lot of time or some type of lineup builder.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also, which I really like to do, and you can do it with a 25-cent lineup as well, or 25-cent contest if you have smaller bankroll. But you can create 4 or 5 lineups and just enter them multiple times. That way, if one lineup hits, you get 5 tickets or 4 tickets, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Or you can, even if you have smaller bankrolls, let's say they got a 10-cent one here too.
Right.
Play 5 lineups for 50 cents, and I know we preach to do max entrance only, but if you can get like half those entrants, it's still a lot better, especially when there's these type of contests that are so good.
Right.
Yeah.
So right, for sure.
Yeah. So there's only 2 spots left on this $2 one. Want to check it out?
Oh, so that's a super small field one, but top 4 out of 23 get tickets. Okay.
Oh, look who's actually in it. We got our NBA guy, Boyle over here.
Oh, Tommy's in there?
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely got to play it. He'll get last. Nah, but I don't see anybody like pro-wise.
Yeah, we're good. And like half the entrants, it looks like, have no badges. So
yeah, I actually got DM the other day, and they asked, "How do you know which ones are pros, which ones are not?" Um, I told them, I said, I go to Roto Grinders. They have that like top 50 leaderboard, um, and just kind of keep an eye on the names there. Do you have any additional uh, ideas on how to track pros?
That's the best way. I mean, honestly, that's the best way to do it. And then just keep an eye. You'll begin to see familiar names at the top of your leaderboards. So
Yeah,
just kind of keep a running list.
absolutely. Yeah. So I'm taking a look here. Uh, we got the single game going on for captain. We always talk about how if we kind of use that number of 47 to judge if when you were running back or wide receiver flex. Um, the total right now is 48. Um, we do want to go high risk. Um, who would you like as captain here?
Good question, Mo. So we mentioned we're concerned about Ty's injury.
Yeah.
Um, DeAndre is the most expensive, so he could be tough to fit in some of these other guys. We
Hmm.
definitely want both quarterbacks. So maybe a quarterback, because remember this contest we're entering is only 23 people,
Correct.
so it's
Yeah.
not that we have to get really crazy with it. Um, and because Deshaun Watson runs, that gives you even more upside. So the only time I'll use a quarterback in high risk contests in single game is if they have that running ability. So like Lamar Jackson,
Hmm.
like Josh Allen, like Deshaun Watson, who has 11 or 12 rushing attempts over the last 2 weeks, multiple goal line carries. So Deshaun's an option, but also even someone like Ebron, who we like a lot and can save money at captain.
Ooh, that's that's tough. Tough, tough thing there. I don't think I've ever played tight end really at captain, and I don't think many people would here in this contest. So when he
Uh,
scores a touchdown, it's going to shoot you up the leaderboard, right?
that's true, but maybe that's too high risk for what we're doing here. Maybe let's try Deshaun at
Yeah.
captain and let's see where we go from there.
Okay. And so we definitely want both quarterbacks in here. So we're going to go Andrew Luck. Do you like? And I know you just talked about Ebron. Do you want to put him in just to see what we can kind of fit around?
I think so. Yeah, let's see Ebron, what we can do there. So, and I know we've mentioned the last couple of Twitch streams trying to find on DraftKings those below $1,000 players that could maybe have a role. And I think there's a guy this week that has a role for Houston, Ryan Griffin. I think he's $800 on DraftKings that can really help you fit in other guys.
Yeah. His how many? What does the model have him as? Like I know he's got a couple projected targets, right?
Yeah, he's projected for almost 4 targets, which is, I mean, just insane for $800 price tag.
Yeah, you figure he's got to catch one, and he's got pretty much got value.
Right, exactly. So
We had that a couple weeks ago with the Sprinkle tight end for Washington. He was 400 or something like that. Had 2 catches for 30 yards and crushed.
that's all you need. I
Yeah.
mean, that's if you get that, you're rolling.
Yep. So taking a look here, do you do you think this is too high risk of a tournament to think about any of the defenses?
I don't think so. If so, we can't fit DeAndre right at this point. We can't fit DeAndre or Hilton.
No.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I do like the Colts defense,
Hmm.
and it may seem counterintuitive because we have Deshaun Watson at quarterback, but he gets sacked a ton,
Hmm.
and because we only need to get top 4 out of 23, it's not like our lineup can't contradict each other. Like we can still get top 4 out of 23 if that happens.
Yeah. So, but the only thing I'm thinking of, so if we put in the Colts here, my computer will actually let me put in the Colts there. We have 9,300 left. I don't know if we want to put in Mac Miller, but there, I know single game it doesn't matter as much as leaving salary on the table. That's a lot of salary we would leave off. 2, 3 thousand.
It is. It's a decent amount, but so Mac, if you put in Mac, what is that? So that's 1,100.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I like Houston's kicker too, just because he gets like 1,000 attempts a game.
yeah, Fairbairn. So maybe we take out the Colts defense, put in Fairbairn.
Yeah, that's a little less contradictory.
Yeah, because we do have some of that correlation where Sean Watson scores a touchdown. Generally speaking, Fairbairn's going to make the extra point. Kickers, especially with him, he usually has a pretty high ceiling for a kicker at least.
Right? Yeah, he does. I mean, the Colts have really good red zone defense. Houston has a pretty terrible red zone offense, so he should have his usual 5 field goal attempts. So this makes a ton of sense.
I'm just looking at his drafting points: 8, 6, 22. Jesus, he's balling.
Yeah, I mean, he like single-handedly helped people get to fantasy championships in leagues that have kickers because he just kicks so many goddamn field goals.
Yep. So I went ahead and just put in that contest there. That looks really, really good. It's kind of crazy fading the top 2 price guys, but one's basically injured. But it is high risk. So especially with wide receivers, they're I wouldn't say their standard deviation, but their variance is way high.
Right. So now, what I like to do here, as we enter this contest, and it was top 4 out of 23, maybe we look to enter a 10 or 20 player league because that's a very similar risk reward, right?
Yeah.
And we want to have some type of cash return if this contest hits. So I think if you look in the tournament section and then just limit it to, $1 or $2 entry fees, and then try to find 10 and 20 player leagues and look for a contest without tons of hashtag star people. So I think it's freaking impossible sometimes because DraftKings puts it all in one category under tournaments. So sometimes I like to just like literally type in 10-player in the contest bar in the search bar.
Good call.
Or like 20-player or 5-player just to find the right contest.
So we have one here. I don't really see anybody good in there, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna enter it in this one, as well as this next one here. We can split out our allocation a little bit.
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, there's literally no one. Yeah, no like top badges. No, quite a few people without badges. So yeah, I think that's a good move.
Cool. And just thinking maybe another high risk. Is it DraftKings? Do they have the 114 player thing, or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah, so if you have to type in the word contest, but for some reason, I just really don't get these sites. They don't offer it for single game slates.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be the case. But if you go to the tournament section, maybe they have a smaller GPP that makes sense.
Yeah, let's see.
Like a $1, like 300 player or something.
I know, like I was talking to the FanDuel, and I was like, "Hey guys, literally have like 150 satellites. Is there a way I can filter them out?" And they were like, "No, we don't plan on doing that anytime soon." Awesome.
That's super high risk. That 200 player one. What happens if you type in? Let me see. Hold on. Can you type in 100-player? Does anything come up?
No. But I think here is another good thing is you don't have to force things. So if contests aren't there, contests aren't looking right, you don't have to play.
Right, that's true too. Yeah, it's not we have to find something here.
Yeah, so we can always have a bigger allocation in the other game, or if things aren't lining up, you don't have to, put in $50 every game. So think about you want to move to the Seattle game.
Yeah, let's move to the Seattle game so we can do that. This one's a little trickier because there's this weird gap. As I was making my lineups yesterday, there's a weird gap like in the middle. It's like high price, like semi-high price, and then it drops down the mid tier, and it's like really hard to. I don't know. I think we'll find out as we make a lineup here how difficult it is to fill out the entire cap.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So let's take a look here. Do we want to shoot for the big game as well in this? I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's my strategy. I think we just go all in on this big game and try to get as many tickets.
They don't have any single entrants. What do you think about maybe like one of these 25-cent ones and just put it in the contest 4 times for 4 tickets?
I love it.
Yeah, and if let's say something comes up, you don't feel comfortable doing it, you have pretty much the whole day to swap out players.
That's true too.
So.
Definitely true. Also, Tommy texted our group chat and said he's not going to finish last in that contest. So.
Nice. All right, so hold on, sorry.
Moose is super. We're struggling. Moose, you're sick. I got to pull muscle in my back. We're both struggling today.
Yeah, man. It's where we are. The temperature goes from 5 degrees to 67, and then back to 14. It ruins your entire day.
Dude, you gotta wash your hands more.
I wash my hands every day, several times.
All right, just making sure. I mean, maybe I am a germaphobe. I wash mine like 30 times a day.
Let's see here. All right, my computer stuck a little bit. While you're doing that, I do just want to point out Brian got me the greatest blanket ever for Christmas. And why this is available, I have no idea. But I don't know if it's going to be able to see from this far, but he got me a freaking blanket from the official Nathan Peterman store. Why that's a thing, I have no idea.
Nate Pete, dude, because he doesn't have. He doesn't, actually, the Raiders did sign him to a contract, so I was gonna say he needs to make money from his store, but John Gruden signed him, so
yeah,
maybe he doesn't.
I don't know.
Just trying to supplement his income with his e-commerce store.
All right, back to things that actually matter. I know we talked about here Zeke getting easily the most workload. Do you think we have to put him in here as a captain?
So what is this contest again? This is like a 100-some player, right? Or 200-some player?
Let's see. 190 players, top 4 get tickets.
So really high. I moved the wrong way. My back. So this is pretty high risk. Like you have to get pretty. You have to have some luck to get this. So I think we have to go against the grain. And as we talked about in the daily plug, I think the perfect pivot in these higher risk single game Seattle Dallas contests is putting Chris Carson in at the captain.
Okay, I'm totally cool with that. I understand that. So basically, just to help people understand, what kind of game do you think Zeke has to have for us to win this type of contest? And do we put him in as a flex?
Yeah, I still think we can put him as a flex for sure. We just save some money because you got to figure it's a big difference. And we talked about this with our NBA guys as we're trying to, iron out strategy for NBA single game as well. On DraftKings, because pricing is different if you use a guy in the captain spot versus in a flex spot. Whereas on FanDuel, the price is the same no matter what. So you want to get the highest scoring guy in there, or you're not going to win.
Yeah.
On DraftKings, if you just go back and look at past winners of single game GPPs or high risk contests, it's not always the highest scoring guy because the prices change. So you can have a lower scoring guy in that flex spot or in that MVP spot as long as it allows you to fit other high scoring guys in there. So by having Carson, it automatically makes you different.
Yeah.
And you can fit in a little bit more guys than you can with Zeke. So even if Zeke outscores him, as long as he doesn't like to completely crush him, you can still have a top scoring lineup with Carson MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. Yeah, we had some very interesting chats in that group chat about ownership. I believe Tommy and Garrett went back in it, playing Giannis at MVP, fading him, doing all the type of stuff. It's definitely some fun and interesting times going on, just trying to figure out different strategies for this.
And it always comes down to what is best for this specific game.
Exactly.
Right? There's going to be some games where a star should be in the MVP spot. There's going to be some games where there is a value guy that should be in the MVP spot. So, and like I said, we may have to change this as we build this lineup. It's not like we know this right off the bat. We're not building. We don't already have this lineup. We're building it live now. So we'll have to guess and check.
Exactly. Yeah. So, taking a look here. Do you think? Do you like any of the quarterbacks? I know we like to try to go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, because quarterbacks normally have the highest ceilings.
I don't. I honestly don't. I mean, we talked about Dak struggling against zone, maybe Russ Wilson, but if Chris Carson is the MVP, that means he's getting like 20, 25 carries.
Yeah.
Doesn't leave a lot for Russell Wilson. So I say we don't use the quarterbacks and see what we do, because that's also going to differentiate us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if we're not going quarterbacks, then we're assuming probably it's like a lower scoring game. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, with definitely lower scoring game.
So then, do you think you save some money maybe by going with kickers or defenses, or is that too,
Well,
or is their ceiling too low?
not in this game. Not in with two good defenses. And if we don't like the quarterbacks and we expect them to either be low volume or turnover prone, it makes sense to use the defenses, right? Especially it gives us correlation with both the running backs.
Yeah. So do you think we use one? I'm leaning towards Seahawks here,
Yeah, that makes sense because we have Carson in the MVP spot. So yeah, for sure.
definitely. Um, let's take a look here. Every time I see Baldwin's name, I'm like, man, he had a chance. We had him almost 75-1 to get the most rushing receiving yards this season,
Yeah, then he like blew out his knee like
7 times.
maybe like a week later. Yeah.
Jeez.
However, speaking of him though, I really do like him in this game.
Yeah.
He seems to be really healthy. He missed the game in week 14, and then since that game, he's led the team in targets with 23 over 3 games. So averaging just about 8 targets a game. And the Cowboys, they have really, really good outside corners. Still decent inside corners as well in the slot, but I think he has the best matchup of the group for Seattle.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was just looking at his game log, and he's been crushing. Um, and taking a look at the number one wide receiver, Mari Cooper, we talked about that in the or y'all talked about that in the podcast. Do you think he's just too volatile here to play?
I wouldn't play him. I'm not a big
Yeah,
fan, but
I don't like
but
him.
it, yeah, I'm not either. But it kind of makes sense with the game script, right? If Carson is crushing and Seattle's defense is crushing, that means Dallas is going to have to throw the ball.
Hmm.
So I could see that. I could certainly see that, and maybe he's an option if with this game script we've projected. So we'll have to take a look here.
Yeah, I don't know how we could fit him in though. We'd have 1,300 left. I don't see any of those under $1,000 guys that are even worth it.
That's true. Go down to that list really quickly. Let me see who's down there at the bottom. I don't. Yeah, I don't think this game has one of those guys. Phone's blown up.
Dude, people just love trying to call us when we do the videos.
Yeah, not many people here. Yeah, yeah. None of these guys are worth playing really. Like maybe Tavon Austin, but he played 10 snaps last week. So
Yeah, that's tough. Um, who do you think about? So then, do you think you go with some Dallas wide receivers?
yeah. See, this is the part I was talking about where it gets tricky, where it's like that middle ground where it's tough. I like Beasley and Gallup,
Hmm.
but it's going to leave you a lot of salary left, and that's gonna. I'm telling you, this slate you're going to end up with a ton of salary left, no matter how you construct your lineup. So you shouldn't be
Yeah,
worried about that.
yeah, definitely. Especially with single game, it's okay to have 1, 2,000 something like that left over, especially in a high risk like this, because casual players are going to see this extra 1,500 and they're like, oh no, I need to get closer to that max. They're going to figure it out some way somehow to try and get to that.
Right. Exactly.
So let's go ahead and enter this.
So this game script most that we're projecting is basically Dallas coming from behind, Carson and Seattle controlling the clock, and Amari being shut down.
Yeah, and again, that's definitely something that can happen and make sense.
Yeah, because Beasley and Gallup have been getting a decent amount of targets lately. Yeah, it just makes sense. I think it makes sense.
Cool, cool.
But again, just to reiterate to people that this is a super high risk approach because the contest we're entering is super high risk.
Exactly. And just because it is an extra 10, you all right, bro?
Sorry. Holy shit. I moved the wrong way. Yeah, I gotta stop screaming, but it's the sharpest pain in my back.
Dude, you gotta put mute on your microphone. Just worrying me to death.
It's dude, it's too quick and it happens so fast. I can't mute it. Ah!
Dude, we're gonna lose all of our members. Because we're like,
Oh man,
who the fuck are these people?
No, dude, they're good. They're good. Can't move in the chair, so I just gotta stay extremely still.
And just because it is an extra 10 cents, I just threw that lineup in at 10 cent.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Right, 10 cent for sure.
So go ahead, go here. Got this going on. Do you think we back this up with any type of low risk, or I don't even know how you would create a low risk lineup with this?
No, this is. I mean, this particular lineup is way too high risk. Did you enter any cash contest? Any type of contest that can return actual money?
Not on draft. Let's take a look.
Because I mean, here we'd have to enter some sort of high risk, like single entry GPP or something like that.
For this lineup, no, not for this
Yeah.
lineup, no.
Okay, yeah. Because I think for that lineup, it's perfect for single entry GPP.
Again, DraftKings is slipping, where they don't have that filter like FanDuel does. It lets you do single entry.
It's not. So you have to literally type in single. Oh, there is a $1 single entry.
Okay.
Right.
Let's roll with that.
Yeah, you notice we're not entering the 20 max, even though it has a higher payout. We're not maxing it, so we're at a disadvantage.
Exactly, yeah. And plus, that would put a damper on our bankroll, or a more of a lower bankroll than Mr. Brian over here, who apparently just wins thousands of dollars every single game slate.
Game king. It is what it is. Do you want to try to create? Do we have time to try to create a single game, low risk with this game, or no?
I have time. Yeah, you have time.
Yeah, because we had a question in the chat. In fact, it's Garrett asking about cash games for this slate. So if we look at this single game, just look at a 50-50 or something, trying to figure out what the best option would be.
Do you think, like I said, do you think not necessarily this lineup, but this game, you think can do low risk? That's tough.
It is tough. That's the thing. We might not be able to do low risk with this, and that's the key, right?
Yeah.
We have time to figure it out. The game's not till 8:00, and ideally you've read the plug by now. So,
What else would say? Do you think we go to the 2-game slate today?
We could, but dude, the 2-game is also really tough. It's really tough. I like the 2-game slate a lot better tomorrow than I do for today.
Okay. So let's go.
Just so people who are listening, we'll have the Periscope tomorrow at 10:30, same time. Hopefully no one calls me during the Periscope. My sound cuts out. We'll do the Twitch at the same time at 11. Doing the same exact thing we're doing today for tomorrow's games. And if you're in here listening and watching, please do us a favor and click that follow button at the top of the Twitch screen. The more followers we get, obviously, the more it helps us. And if you like what we do, we would really appreciate that. So please click follow, and that way you're notified anytime we go live on here.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get like a little notification on your phone or your email, depending on how you have it set up. It's just, hey, Occupy is live. Gives you the ability to do a whole bunch of stuff. So definitely helps us out too. So let's just take a look here at these DraftKings lineups. So for low risk, you think maybe like, because it is such a higher risk game, do you think we go with like maybe like a 3x as a low risk for us?
Actually, that's a great point, Moose. Because it's such a tough slate to play, if you go low risk, you might as well get a little more return on your investment by going with 3x to triple up.
Exactly, yeah. So let's take a look here. Okay, yeah. So this is something that I'm talking about. But obviously, there's no pros in here because they can't do under the $5 or whatever. But pretty much everyone in here has level 3 or 4 experience badge. That's something that you don't want to play in for a triple up.
Right, and triple ups for some reason on DraftKings really do attract. Those multipliers of all kinds attract people with the experience badges, which is really weird. But yeah, so definitely let's not settle for a contest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't see any good triple ups. Take a look at this quintuple up. Again, still not that good of a lineup or good entry field. I mean, maybe this one has only 4 entrants so far, and maybe we hope that doesn't fill the way we want it to fill. We're gonna roll with that one.
Okay, I think that's a good way. Yeah. So have you ever needed to do something on the computer and you're about to open a new tab, but then you get distracted and you can't remember for the life of you what you're about to open on that tab? Tell me to me right now. I was gonna look something up, and now it's for whatever. I can't remember what I was supposed to do.
Nice. So then, back to what we talked about, the lineup construction here for our captain. Since this is not as high risk, do you think we go Zeke as the captain?
Yep. Not high risk. You definitely want Zeke there.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think the ownership's going to be as captain compared to flex and low risk? I mean, it's got to be like 80% captain, right?
At least, yeah. I would. Yeah, it's gonna be really, 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 really high.
So, and then I'm trying to think here. Do you think we go up with Carson as well?
Yep. Let's get those high floor guys in there. And I think both defenses are high floor.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. What's the what was it, 43 and a half now?
Yeah, I think 43 and a half is the total, I think, yeah.
Now I'm going to put in Brett Mayer. Okay, so then who's something else you think we go with? Do you think?
I do think Russ. I think Russ Wilson, he's been running more as the season's been on the line. So I think you go Russ Wilson. I trust him more personally in this spot than I do Dak.
Yeah, I agree. And now, so we got 4,800 left.
Either go with a tight end, Blake Jarwin, who had like the most Travis Kelce performance last week ever, 120 yards and 3 touchdowns, randomly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Or you go with the Cowboys kicker, and this is likely going to come down to whether you cash or not.
I know.
Between the two guys.
So here's my thing: is I would probably fade Jarwin solely because of that recency bias. Guarantee his ownership is going to skyrocket this week because of that 3 touchdown performance. So I think you almost go with the kicker.
Yeah, I get it. And we normally want to go with ownership in low risk contests, but single game's a little bit different, right? Because you can't always predict ownership as accurately as you can in the full slates.
Or even that, I was gonna say, just because I don't think he's gonna score 3 touchdowns again.
Well, I don't think he will. Yeah, going out on a limb there, Moose, with that prediction.
Until he's probably listening to this stream, and when he scores his 3rd touchdown, he's gonna hold it like fuck occupy.
He's gonna lift his jersey up, and it's gonna be written in marker on his white undershirt. Fuck occupy, just in the camera.
That'd be perfect.
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be great publicity for us.
He's gonna get fined like 30,000. Like, why'd you do it? They talk bad about me.
Fuck those guys.
All right, so even though we got 1,600 left over, that's fine for single game, right? It's not bad.
Yeah, like I said, this game particularly, the tiers are so weird that you're gonna have money left over.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's go ahead and enter this.
And Moose, Nick, one of our most loyal members in the chat, says that's the same cash lineup he made using the plug.
Nice, yeah, that's awesome. Let's both cash. Let's get some money here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just want to see. Do you have 5 minutes, Brian?
Yeah, I got 5 minutes.
So we've actually been. I've been reading some things. A couple of other people have told me that the tiers is actually getting pretty popular. You have 5 minutes to make a quick, maybe tier lineup.
Oh yeah, this Twitch channel is dedicated to niche DFS So let's take a peek because obviously we have the daily plug, we have the Occupy model, and those can be used as well for any contest type. I know we gear it towards the traditional classic contest types and the single games, but yeah, you can use it for tiers as well. So this is the 4-game.
Yeah, so they only have one thing. It's the 4 game slate. What kind of contest do you think we go here? Have you even looked at the tiers? I know I haven't.
Not a clue. So maybe we make a lineup first. Let's
Yeah.
go to the lineups page and just create a lineup, and then we can enter it from there.
And have you played tiers at all? I've played maybe a couple times with MLB.
Same. I've played MLB before too, and I don't know if that's the best way to play tiers just because of the volatility, but
yeah. But I think that's when it got introduced, right?
I think it was. Yeah, I think we were like, oh, what the hell is this? And we tried it out. Yeah.
Okay, so for tier 1, we got Luck, Watson, Trubisky, Jackson.
We have to pick one guy from this tier, right?
Correct. Yeah, one guy from each tier.
Christ, that's so tough. So Trubisky's out.
Yeah.
God damn, these are our 3 other guys we like. Dude, tiers is hard.
Do you think we skip this and then try and go back to that, see how we construct our other lineup?
Yeah, let's come back here because then we can do like correlation depending on what the rest of the.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's smart.
Rivers, Wilson, Prescott, Foles. I think we go Wilson here, right?
Yeah, I would go Wilson, but holy shit, this feels terrible.
We're going to put it in like a 10-cent 50-50. All right, so this one's actually easy. Zeke, Hopkins, or Hilton. You gotta go Zeke, right?
Yeah, Zeke, not even close.
Gordon, Allen, Carson, Cooper. Ooh.
Gordon, Allen. I like Keenan Allen a lot, but Carson is safer. So.
Yeah. So the way that this is tearing up, I mean, you're gonna go two safe. I guess we're gonna say quarterbacks. This might go toward like a lower risk lineup.
It's steaming towards me, yeah, because we went Zeke over the other 2 guys, so that's pretty safe.
Yeah. So I think maybe we go Carson.
Yeah, let's try Carson and see where we go from there.
Jesus Christ, they just add more players. Ertz, Matt, Cohen, Jeffrey, Robinson, Baldwin.
I mean, this is literally the toughest type of contest I've ever played.
Jesus.
God. Moose, can you move?
Oh yeah. Let me
move the screen for a second so I can see. Yeah, there.
How's that look?
So tough. All right, who's the safest of this group? Right? Probably Mac or Cohen.
I was saying Mac. Yeah.
Probably Mac.
That's tough. Okay.
I hate this already. This is so bad.
Ebron, Lockett, Miller, Howard, Williams, Gabriel.
You know what I'm gonna say. You know who I like here.
Ebron?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All over Ebron.
Dude, they literally just add more players each tier.
Until the last 3 you're just picking from the rest of the players on the slate.
Tate, Eckler, Aguilar, Sproles, Dixon, Burton, Edwards, Inman.
So I would go Aguilar, Burton, or Inman.
So let's think about this. So let's go back to tier 1 real quick. We're either going to pick Luck, Watson, or Jackson. But we kind of want some of that correlation with that, don't we?
Right, for sure.
So if we go back to tier 7. So tough.
Maybe you go Inman.
That's what I was looking at. Yeah.
You go Inman, and then you go Luck at quarterback, and then even though we went safe at Zeke and Carson, we now have a 4 Indy lineup, and that's pretty high risk.
Yeah.
Without using Hilton.
Exactly. Yeah. So take a look here at tier 8. We got Beasley, John Brown, Williams, Snead, Andrews, Gallup, Jarwin, Henry.
Let's see.
Henry's out, but
bad group.
Maybe you go Beasley only because we have no, because we have Zeke.
From Seattle here? No, of course not. Wait, maybe we go Beasley and then switch out Wilson for Dak to get some correlation.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Now we just have a super high risk lineup.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And we thought it was going to be low risk while we were making our lineup. Instead of putting it in the contest first, we built the lineup. Now we realize it's high risk. We're going to have to go high risk on this.
Yeah. Dude, what the hell? Tiers is so hard. Maybe this slate stuff. Maybe this slate is super tough. Maybe I need to give it another chance on a full slate or whatever. But this is really tough.
Yeah, it is.
Really sharp tiers.
Yeah, I can't wait for the big game tier. That's going to be fun.
Oh my god, yeah, I might actually play that.
All right, so let's see here. Let's join contest. While this is loading, Brian, you still like Fortnite?
I mean, I like it, but like, I'm definitely not good at it, and it's super frustrating. I might play a game here before the game started if all my lineups are finished. Dude, I know this is a DFS channel, and I'm literally about to turn 32 tomorrow, and I probably shouldn't be playing Fortnite, but I want to get first so badly. I just don't think I have the skill to do it.
No. So the time I got first, the only time I got first, it was so lucky because it was like a big old open area, and the guy was just running across. It was me and him, and he never built anything. I just shot him with a rocket launcher and won. I got so lucky.
I don't think I'll ever get that lucky. Even if I did, I would still probably miss.
Nice. So we're looking here. So we want to go high risk. Um, How high risk do you think we go? We think we go like maybe like the 40x's, um, maybe a single entry GPP.
Oh, I like the single entry GPP, or do like do they have those micro boosts, the multiplier?
No, why would they? They have a 10x boost.
That's also not bad, but I also wouldn't be playing $2 of my bankroll on this.
Yeah.
I would go do a single entry GPP probably.
So they only have the $1 single entry.
All right, well, $1's not bad.
Yeah. And taking a look, it's actually not that bad of entrance.
It's not?
No, not really. Okay, cool. So we're in there. I think that was pretty sweet. Started on FanDuel, tried to make some stuff. Went to DraftKings, showed a little bit of Yahoo. Um, Anything else you want to cover, Brian?
That was a pretty well-rounded Twitch stream. I think we hit a lot of different things.
Absolutely.
Just trying to think. Yeah, just for those who are in, the daily plug is up. OccupyFantasy.com. If you're coming here from Twitch, you don't know who we are. OccupyFantasy.com. We really focus on bankroll management, contest selection, and our two flagship content pieces that we have. Our daily plug really just runs through the whole slate, gives you the top plays and how to play them. And then our Occupy model, our live ranking dashboard. And you can access both of those for as little as $6 a week. Really cheap. And we got a few members in the chat. They can attest to this. Really good service. So go check it out. Our ultimate guide, 19-chapter DFS ebook, breaks down all the foundational pieces that are missing that just aren't talked about in the industry to help you become a winning player, transition from season long to DFS. And obviously follow us on Twitter at Occupy Fantasy. Really, we're trying to just help as many people as we can.
Yeah, and then our personal Twitters are above us. I'm at CFB_Moose. That guy's over at Brian Chester FF. We like to talk about the things that necessarily aren't sexy, as Brian put it in the Ultimate Guide, but are probably more important than trying to figure out how to pick players. Would you agree with that?
Yes. I mean, you can get how to pick player advice from anywhere on the internet. And obviously, we think we do a great job at that as well, of course.
Yeah.
But being a profitable DFS player goes 90% beyond that.
Absolutely, yeah. I was reading a Reddit AMA about Osmo, and he said one of the most important things he does is he looks at contests before he makes a lineup. And I'm like, okay, that's great.
That's literally the number one player in the world.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cool. So, dog just came in here, licked my feet, and ran away. I think that means it's time to go.
Yeah, that's the signal. Dog's licking our feet, so it's time to go.
All right, well, everyone, good luck with your lineups. If you have any questions, hit us up at OccupyFantasy.com, at OccupyFantasy on Twitter, me at CFB_Moose, him at BrianJesterFF. If you don't have anything else to add, I think we're going to get up out of here.
Good luck to everybody. Enjoy the game. Should be 4 good games this weekend.
Absolutely, yep. So have fun. Let's win some money.
Peace.
Peace.